Hello and welcome, I'm Oles Gerjuk and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. The United States imposed a new round of financial sanctions related to Moscow's aggression in Ukraine, focusing on individuals and companies doing business in Russian-annexed Crimea. To discuss the outcomes of new sanctions, we are joined in the studio today by Vitaliy Vlasyuk, an expert at KyivStratPro analytic group. Hello and thank you for being with us today.
Hello.
So, the U.S. has extended sanctions against 3 people and 9 entities. How will the sanctions directly affect them?
The sanctions will for sure infect that person, their actives, making that actives like toxic in our juridical some kind of slang.
But what are they about? Are they about only the assets or also the banking accounts and all the money that they have in the United States?
As I read the official statement of the State Department as well as of Treasury of United States, the sanctions hit absolutely all spheres, bank transactions, assets, any kind of relations, official relations regarding to American companies, regarding to American soil. I would say so.
But how did the United States choose the companies and these individuals? What principle did they use?
We cannot be sure what that principle, because it can be written just in very general terms, like some things that could possibly inflicts on America's security. That's why they choose what things are right and what things are wrong for American security.
But does this new round of strengthening the sanctions have any connection with the elections that happened just recently in the war-torn Donbass? I mean, the sanctions were imposed prior to the elections, but maybe as a move to express this kind of growing pressure from the American side.
Talking about elections, I would say that these sanctions are related to American internal relations, just showing some message, because they have been imposed just before the elections. So that was kind of a very clear message to the voters. And as to the Donbass voting, I would say no. They're not related to.
As far as I understand, 2 of these individuals that are under these sanctions are Ukrainians. What can you tell us about them?
I think that's the common problem, which derives from 2 citizenships. One is Ukrainian, the second is for sure Russian. I'm quite sure about that. And that means...
of course, if they are staying on the occupied territory of Donbass, they for sure have the Russian passport.
Have the Russian citizenship as well. Therefore, they are now under sanctions. So nothing surprised about that.
But these are some businessmen that were having some business in Crimea. That basically the people who violated the Ukrainian legislation also. By doing this.
Sanctions are being imposed by United States. They are being imposed under the U.S. internal
yes, that's what you mentioned. Of course, yes, sure. I do agree. Well, we also have a short clip from an important statement of the acting deputy chief of the U.S. mission to the OSCE, Gregory Macris. Let's watch.
Okay.
The United States fully supports Ukraine's sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders. We do not, nor will we ever, recognize Russia's purported annexation of Crimea. We join our European and other partners in affirming that our Minsk-related sanctions against Russia will remain in place until Russia fully implements its Minsk commitments.
And now I want to continue with Poroshenko's words. This is a clear message that all those involved in the illegal occupation of the Ukrainian peninsula and hybrid aggression and the Donbass will not avoid responsibility. I deem that all our partners should follow this example. So basically, Poroshenko is hinting that all the partners should follow the United States example. So we see this strong stance from the United States. But what about Europe? What can be expected expect from the European partners now?
I would say we cannot expect the same things from the European Union because they're not so eager to deteriorate
the relations with Russia?
Relations with Russia, because they are closer to Russia.
Of course, they do have their business interest, more of business interest. But in regard of the sham elections recently held in the Donbass, could we expect that the European Union would help Ukraine to increase some pressure in this direction?
I think they have no other choice other than to support us,
this
to continue
would be
to support us.
A head back. Well, Britain is pushing for new sanctions for sure. They will concern senior figures of Putin's military intelligence network, but it's mainly connected with the Salisbury case. So how would you evaluate how effective are all of the sanctions imposed currently on Russia?
We cannot expect that these sanctions will make Russia to change its behavior like tomorrow. But
of
the day
course,
after
this
tomorrow,
is a long
that
run.
will happen. So that's the main thing, the most important thing, that these sanctions are really good.
Well, thank you so much for your interesting comments, and thank you for being a guest today at our studio. This is a good conclusion for our conversation.
My pleasure.
That was Vitaliy Vlasyuk, an expert at KyivStratPro Analytic Group. Thank you for watching Head to Head. I'm Goedjuk. Goodbye.